Welcome to Solo Shot First, and today we are going to be having a look at the Klatooinian Raider from Star Wars The Mandalorian. Now this figure, I believe, is a straight repack that came with the ATST that they released under The Mandalorian, which was quite, I wouldn't say, well, I say it was quite difficult. Certainly in the UK, it wasn't an easy vehicle to pick up. Whether it was sort of understocked or sort of Hasbro didn't release enough of these. I know there weren't a great many, I shouldn't say a great deal of many retailers that actually managed to stock it in the UK. So it was one of those tricky ones to get hold of. So it's great that they've actually put this Klatooinian Raider on a card back of his own. The actual card back itself is pretty cool because obviously what they've done is they've given a nod to that ATST Raider because you've actually got the image on the card back here is of the ATST as opposed to the Klatooinian Raider himself. But it is a really nice looking card back. It's great that it's on that thicker card stock. So you've got the 4+ age group in the top left hand corner, the warning in the right, and the Kenner logo down in that right hand corner. The actual name pill is in that green, as you can see, so it does make the Klatooinian Raider stand out quite nicely. And again, with that background, it does look very, very nice on the actual bubble itself. And it looks like quite a big bubble because I think that the character inside does actually look quite large. But really nice card back on this. You know, again, if you're a carded collector, you know, you're going to want this one. It's certainly a really, really nice card. Let's have a look at the back of the card quickly. So this is simply VC266, that nice Star Wars racetrack design, the other figures that were part of this wave, and that vintage collection logo. I've always said it is a bit of a shame that they never put a little bit more detail about the actual figure itself or the character instead of all that legal information. I'm sure they don't need to have anywhere near that amount, but, you know, what do I know? Anyway, let's have a quick look at the front again. So one final look at the front of this card back. It's interesting. This one does appear to be, my card back itself is a little bit wavy. I know that sort of some of the, again, it's not the retailer's fault, certainly here in the UK. Some of these, the way that they're packing them in these boxes is becoming a little bit tight. So sometimes you do get these sort of cards, the odd one that is warped. This is a little bit just down the middle there, nothing major. I don't think you can probably see it in the actual video itself, but it is a shame because, again, if you're a carded collector, then you want these in pristine condition. You know, they've listened to us with regards to having the thicker card stock. Now all they need to do is work out how to actually pack them. But anyway, sorry, I'm sort of going off tangent a little bit there. So really, really nice card back on this. Let's get this figure out of the actual packaging itself and we'll have a look at it. Okay, so here we've got the figure out of the packaging. I've got to say, this is a really nice looking figure. I have actually, as you can see, just about managed to get that his foot onto a peg stand, and that is, as everybody knows now, quite a common issue with more of the modern vintage line. But I think you'd probably be able to get him to stand reasonably enough. It was just the fact that obviously he's on this sort of tablecloth and it's not the best. But I've managed to get him on a stand. So in terms of the looks, it does look like a really lovely looking character and a really lovely looking figure. The actual helmet that he's got here, let me just bring him in slightly. This is removable, so you can take that off, that sort of plastic. It's sort of like a soft goods. I say soft goods. It is plastic, but it's not rock hard, which is quite nice. There's a little bit of give in some of the areas on it, so that's quite nice. And it gives you some really good looking opportunity to have a look at the detail that they've put into this figure. That is really, really cool. And the thing is, we saw obviously quite a lot of this species. I think it was actually from the episode from the Book of Boba Fett where they actually had, you know, that was it episode 5? I think it might have been. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong. But where the Mandalorian comes in and he goes into that sort of what appears to be, I think it's like a butcher's shop or something like that, isn't it? A butcher's warehouse, and there's all these guys. So he's after that bounty. So they could give us plenty more of this type of character. It's absolutely fantastic detail there on that head sculpt. Really, really nice as well, the detailing around the chest, his belt and everything else. That blaster that you can see there, that isn't removable. That is actually just sort of molded plastic straight in. And this side of the armor is sort of quite a hard plastic, but they have done a nice bit on this side, so that flap does lift up. So if you do want to be able to get that figure into many poses, you actually can. So that's quite a good, a nice part of what they've done there. So it does look really, really good from the front. From the back, again, some good detailing, really. Some nice colouring, really good paint apps on that sort of shoulder armour and that wrap around him, as well as the belt. So yeah, really good looking figure. In terms of the articulation with this figure, it isn't, right up with what we have been getting with the modern vintage, but it's still really good. So you've got articulation there at the head, you've got articulation at the shoulders, articulation at the elbows, and at the wrists. And I think they're with a swivel. Yet there is no hinge in the wrist. There's no crunch or anything in the stomach. The actual swivel is around the waist, and there is no sort of butterfly hinge on this figure, but you probably wouldn't be able to use it too much, because you've got, these are hard goods on the bottom of these, I want to class it as a skirt, I suppose, but his rags, whatever you want to call them. But there's enough give and enough mobility there if you do want to move his legs. So the legs just do go up and down, but there is articulation at the knees and at the ankles. So good articulation, but not as much as we have been getting. But still, it's a stunning looking figure. I mean, that is really, really impressive. Let's just pop that with the helmet back on. So he does look pretty cool. In terms of the actual accessories that you get with him, you do just get this one blaster that it does come with, and that's just sort of that sort of standard gunmetal grey, but it's quite a nice piece. I'm not sure if there's anywhere to actually, I haven't gone into too much detail on this figure. It doesn't appear to have a holster or anything to put that in, which I suppose is just about the only little, not bad thing, but I quite like that to have a figure. But then I suppose the way that they've got all of that, his garment sort of draped around him, and the way they work, it probably wouldn't work out. But it does look, it's a really stunning looking figure. Really, really, really pleased to actually get this one open. And the other thing, obviously, with regards to this, it should really lend them to do more of this type of figure. We're crying out for more aliens, certainly in this line. I mean, it's great that they have been giving us some newer figures, but there are plenty of obviously sort of repacks and rehashes of characters. So it's really good that you have this sort of type of figure at least being done. And I know, as I said, it was released previously as part of that ATST Raider, but this is the first time we've actually had this on a card back. So great card back, really good looking figure. I'm chuffed that I've got this one open, and that can sort of go in the collection. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are new to the channel and you want to subscribe, please do. There'll be plenty more videos coming shortly. If you've got any questions, any comments on this figure, please leave them in the comments section below, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video.